Oh, oh, I seen the storm rolling, but the sun came back again. They said, boy, you won't make it. The Most High said different. Why I said amen. Let's go. From the red clay roads where the lights play low, Lil Sean had faith even when the funds were low. Grandma sang hymns with a tear in her eye. Told him, baby, stay strong, the Most High gon' provide. Mama and stepdad holding on through the rain, turning life's hard pain into a lifelong game. He packed them dreams in a Navy duffel tight, but even in the ocean he still had to fight. Yeah, still had to fight. Yeah, he been down like Joe, rose like down, hands up high, still thanking the Most High. On the young, he lost some years, but he gave them back tenfold. Grace on the grind, that's a story well told. Yeah, restored again. Can I get an amen? Restored again. By the grace of the Most High, amen. Let's get it. Yeah, got out the service world, moving strange. Tried every hustle, but faith stayed the same. Folks laughed when he said he filmed his grind. Now 500,000 sold to his shine. From a cracked iPhone to a whole production, he ain't chase fame, he chase instruction. Every praise God coming to see that group, prove that what the Most High start, the Most High will see through. Let's go, amen. Sometimes blessings take a long way home. Sometimes pain gotta make room for hope. Joe lost everything but never lost faith. Sean lost sleep but gained amazing grace. And the Lord restored Joe's fortunes when he prayed for his friends. And the Lord gave him twice as much as he had before. Job 42:10. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He been down like Joe, people roll like Joe. Still thanking the Most High. On the young, he lost some years, but he gave them back tenfold. Grace on the grind, that's a story well told. Yeah, restored again. Can I get an amen? Restored again. By the grace of God, amen. Now grandma smiling her golden years. Mama and stepdad wipe away them tears. What was broke is blessed, what was pain is peace. Faith don't fold, multiply the feast. Yeah. Yeah, restored again. Now that's a righteous perspective. Yeah, restored again.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to ARP in the morning. I'm your brother Wise, man. I appreciate you guys pulling up today. Happy Veterans Day to each and every one of you guys out there, all my veterans out there. I want to show some love to you all. Today is your day. Happy Veterans Day. I appreciate the sacrifice, the service. Shout out to all my folks that are currently in the military right now, active duty, standing on business. Thank you guys very much for your service. And I got to let you guys know, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Thank you guys for pulling up this morning on this fine Tuesday morning. Shout out to you guys, man. Thank you guys very much for pulling up. What's up, Messy Michon? It's good to see you in the chat this morning. Shout out to you. Appreciate you pulling up. I want to get the show started off here this morning, though, because today isn't just another day on the calendar. It is Veterans Day. And it's a day when America stops, if only for a moment, to remember the men and the women who put their comfort on hold so the rest of us could just live in freedom. Now, that word freedom, I mean, it's tossed around a lot these days, right? But freedom isn't just a slogan. It's not a campaign promise. It's a gift paid for in sweat, sacrifice, and sometimes blood by those who believed this nation was worth it. From the beaches of Normandy to the mountains of Afghanistan, brave Americans have stood between tyranny and liberty, and they did it not just for fame, or not for fame at all, not for fortune, but because they believed in something bigger than themselves. And that's rare in this modern world of selfies and virtue signaling, right? People who still understand the meaning of duty, of honor, of love for country. And scripture says in John chapter 15, verse 13, that greater love has no one than this, than to lay down one's life for his friends. And that's what our veterans did. And that's what they have done. They laid it down for us. So today I'm asking you, before the parades, before the sales, before the noise, take a moment, thank a veteran. Pray for those who are still serving, and remember the flag still waves because somebody stood tall when it mattered most. And that's what makes America exceptional. And that's why we'll never stop fighting to keep it that way. Hit that like button on the way in. Hit the like button on the way in. Let us know what number you are when you hit the like button. Shout out to all my ARP family members. Shout out to my Blues who help keep things peaceful in the chat. Shout out to you guys, man. And once again, happy Veterans Day. We got a lot to get into today. But I'm really thankful, and shout out to my son who is currently serving. And I know a lot of you guys, you guys have folks, that are currently serving right now. Shout out to him, and all his shipmates, out there doing their thing, right now. One of my really good friends, his son just got told he's going out to Korea earlier than he thought. He'll be out there before the end of this year. And, it's awesome, man. It is awesome to see it, man. Another generation handling business, serving this nation, man. And, it's a blessing. Before I get started, though, I want to show some love to my folks in the chat real fast. Let me do that. There's a couple super chats that will kick things off and we'll read there. Shout out to Empowered Lens coming through with the $5 super sticker. Thank you very much. And shout out to Papa Died coming through with the $2 super chat. It says happy Veterans Day. Thank you. Yes. Thank you guys very much. Appreciate you all. Supporting the channel. And yes, happy Veterans Day, to all my vets out there, man. Thank you guys very much. Shout out to Redefine Queen, Zephyr K9, Lori Oddison, Chisaxi. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. What's up, Marla? What's going on, Omega X? Grace and peace to you, brother. Appreciate you pulling up. Who else we got up in here early? Shout out to Donald Lovejoy. What's up, Nelly? What up, Lady Illusions? Appreciate you pulling up. This morning. What's up, B? Cool Ramon. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. Thank you guys very much, man. I appreciate the love. Appreciate the support this morning. And we're going to get into it. We're going to get the show started. And we're going to go. I don't know if I see Hunter. Where's Hunter at? I didn't see him this morning. I see people talking about him, but for whatever reason, I don't see him. Give me a second. Hunter always comes through with the scripture of the day. And maybe I gave the scripture of the day, right? Let me see. I don't see him. Uh-oh. What are they doing over here? Okay, here we go. All right, got it. So the verse from Hunter comes from 1 Chronicles chapter 16, verse 35. It says, cry out, save us, O God of our salvation. Gather and rescue us from among the nations so we can thank your holy name and rejoice and praise you. Shout out to you, Hunter. Appreciate you, brother. Always coming through with the Bible verse to help get the show kicked off properly. Thank you guys very much, man. Thank you guys very much. Appreciate you all. All righty. Let me see if I thought I missed somebody. All righty. Uh-oh. Somebody said my nephew Ted is a Marine. Yeah, shout out to the Marines, man. Once a Marine, always a Marine. Those guys are on a different, they're different. They're different. Shout out to them. Shout out to them. And all my vets in the chat, man, thank you guys very much. Happy Veterans Day to you all. We're going to get the show started. Hit the like button. Super chat, super thanks are greatly appreciated. Appreciate the love, man. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. Appreciate you guys. Thank you guys very much. We're going to get things kicked off. Again, hit that like button for me if you haven't done so already. And, oh, quick super chat real quick. What up, Rolando? How's it going this morning with the $2 super chat? What up, Wise? Couldn't join the live, was working. No worries. No worries. Hopefully we'll see you this evening. Hopefully we'll see you this evening, Rolando. Hopefully you got that message there. Shout out to Papa Di coming through with the $10 super chat. Thank you, Wise, for your service. I remember you're talking about serving in the Navy. Can you talk about what's happening in Ireland later this week? In maybe a prelude to what happens in the United States. Yeah, I'll see what's going on. I gotta, I'm familiar with what's going on in Ireland, but I haven't been keeping a whole lot of, I hadn't been keeping up with it. I mean, Lord knows we got a lot going on right over here in our own country. Shout out to the Energizer Bunny coming through with the $2 super chat. Says, thank you for your service too, shipmate. Appreciate you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you guys, man. So hit the like button if you haven't done so already. Super chat, super thanks are greatly appreciated. Thank you guys very much as well. And again, happy Veterans Day to all my vets out there, man. Thank you guys very much. Go, hey, get out there, man. Go get you some of that free stuff, man. You know they offering free dinners, free lunches, all that kind of good jazz. Go out there and get you some. All right, let's get it going.
Break the Republicans, and the Republicans broke him. But he did think that we have good policy, they have bad policy. And there's something, I don't know if it's Trump derangement or they're just crazed. They're like crazed lunatics. But, we have just great policy. We have good people. They have some good people, too. I know a lot of Democrats. They're not all crazy. They're not all. But you have some that are absolutely terrible. I look at this Crockett. This is a very low IQ person. And I look at somebody that comes from Somalia where they don't have anything. They don't have police. They don't have military. They don't have anything. All they have is crime. And she comes in and tells us how to run our country. The Constitution says this, the Constitution. The whole thing is crazy. I feel badly because I've known Chuck Schumer. I knew him when he was a person who loved Israel, and now he's a Palestinian. He's become a Palestinian. And it's amazing. I've never seen a politician change so much. Also, he doesn't have, he was a pretty talented guy. He's lost his talent.
And quick shout out real quick. Shout out to Messi Mashine joining the ARP family. Thank you very much, sister. I appreciate you. God bless you. Thank you for supporting what we're doing over here. It's a blessing. Thank you. Appreciate you. All right, let's get into it, man. So, because it finally happened. The great Democratic resistance lasted exactly 40 days and 40 nights before collapsing under its own nonsense. The Senate passed the spending bill Monday night, and now it's heading to the House, where Democrats are already fighting each other over about, they're fighting each other over about whether to oppose it or pretend it's a win. And here's the headline CNN won't print. The longest government shutdown in U.S. history just ended with Democrats getting absolutely nothing. Remember, for months, they told us that they were holding the line to fix America's healthcare crisis. They said that the shutdown was about helping the people, but now they fold it faster than a lawn chair in a hurricane. 8 Democrats, and you heard it, 8 Democrats, including Dick Durbin and John Hoodie and Shorts, Hoodie and Shorts Fetterman, they broke ranks and joined the Republicans to open the government. And what did they all get, for that moral grandstanding? A promise, not policy, not a bill, just a good old-fashioned Washington promise to maybe, possibly, if the stars align, revisit the issue in December. Translation, they got rolled. And after 40 days of chaos, canceled flights, missed paychecks, and frozen SNAP benefits, the deal they accepted is the same offer that was sitting on the table on October 1st. They didn't win. They surrendered. And the backlash inside their own party, it's glorious. It's glorious. Chuck Schumer voted no to save face, but the base is already roasting him alive and letting the resistance crack. And here's the truth. Democrats love to call themselves fighters for the people, but the moment the pressure hits, they fold like a cheap suit. They shut down the government for working families, then turned around and punished those same working families federal workers, TSA agents, single moms who rely on SNAP, all caught in the political hostage crisis. This wasn't leadership. This was a performative plan. And what did they get? You know, what did they get? Over $1 trillion in new healthcare spending. That's what they were asking for. They wanted benefits for illegal immigrants and permanent Obamacare subsidies that are already jacking up premiums for middle-class Americans. Yeah. And the Republicans said, nah, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. And everyone knew they'd say no. And the Democrats, they did it anyways, just to look tough on TV. And now the left's melting down online, crying betrayal and calling for Schumer's head, while Republicans are kicking back with popcorn saying, yeah, we told you so. Because when you strip away the hashtags, the photo ops, and the moral theater, what's left of the Democrat Party? Nothing but slogans and surrender. That's all you get from these folks. Hit that like button if you haven't done so for me already.
This has exposed, though, the complete and total failure of Obamacare. I mean, it's not affordable. No, people that have it don't feel like it even is real insurance. And now we see, I mean, it's a mess. And if anytime the government's having to subsidize something like this, it's not working in the first place. And so I think the American people are realizing just how messed up the American healthcare system is. And the regime under which we live is Obamacare. But look, I think a lot of Republicans do not want people to see skyrocketing premiums. And so we'll see what that debate looks like. This whole thing has exposed this outlandish money laundering scheme where your tax dollars go right into insurance companies and your health insurance never gets better. Your health care never gets better. Your health outcomes never get better. That's what we have exposed here. So what our responsibility is as a Republican Party, how do we stop getting your tax money to insurance companies? And how do we put more actual money into the health care of the American people? Because I can assure you, writing a bunch of checks to insurance companies doesn't make your health care any better.
And this right here is the crux of the problem. Democrats spent 40 days shutting down the government to fix health care, but never once addressed why health care costs so much in the first daggone place. Everybody knows that the Affordable Care Act is everything but affordable. It's not. Have y'all seen the premiums these days? Have y'all not seen the daggone deductibles? Do you guys realize that there are policies right now? I know because it's open enrollment and I have to pay for my own insurance for my own and my family's insurance these days. They have premiums right now that are over $1,000 a month with $10,000 deductibles. So before you actually get any support, you're going to come out the pocket 20 grand. You're going to pay 20 grand. If you have to hit the max deductible, you're going to pay $20,000. $22,000, actually. The average American can't afford that. The average American doesn't have $22,000 a year to pay for healthcare. They just don't. But if the Affordable Care Act made coverage affordable, why do these daggone premiums still need massive federal subsidies just to survive? Last time I checked, subsidies don't fix prices. They actually hide them, right? Hospitals keep merging, prices stay secret, and paperwork piles are higher than the patient's bills. Drug companies can charge whatever they want. And even people with insurance, they get slammed by sky-high deductibles and networks so narrow that, hey, you think you're joining an exclusive club. Extending subsidies, it doesn't fix any of that. It just buys silence. It's a political band-aid on a system that's hemorrhaging cash. Premiums climb because care itself is expensive, not because Congress didn't hold enough press conferences. So after all that drama, all the shutdown theater, what did the Democrats win? Absolutely nothing. They walked back to the table and accepted the same deal they were offered 6 weeks ago. And even the liberal pundits are starting to say it. Standing up to Trump didn't work. One even admitted the shutdown gave him more leverage. So after 40 days of resistance, all they really proved is that the math still wins. That's it. Hopefully the American people will wake up and see that, hey, they got held hostage for nothing. How many people in the country, especially those that support the Democrat Party, how many of them will understand this and actually hold these people accountable? Let me know in the chat.
Strange, Dean, to go back to the original sort of part of this conversation of whether he is a good deal maker. I mean, in a way, it seems like the president is kind of getting what he wanted 40 days ago when all this started. He was out there saying that, oh, this is all about Democrats trying to give health care to illegal immigrants. He just said that to reporters moments ago, repeated that refrain that Democrats had actually very successfully pushed back against. Then there's all this energy. In the wake of the election on Tuesday, the president made remarks saying basically, wow, Republicans are being harmed by all of this, acknowledging that he was on his back foot. And now here he is winning again? How did he do it?
The Democrats, I don't understand how a Democratic senator goes, wow, we won really big. Let me cave now. I don't understand. That makes no sense to me.
Well, maybe to be, to Anthony's point, if they were cynical, like if we wanted just to hold this out until we get through the election and then.
Imagine that. The Democrats' grand plan to resist backfire and handed the White House a big W, a victory. Now even their own base is turning on them. Progressives are furious. They're calling for primary challenges against Chuck Schumer and the senators who voted yes. They're realizing what conservatives have been saying all along. The Democratic establishment isn't strong enough or principled enough to stand for anything. They're not. Schumer played his usual political theater, pretending to vote no for optics while quietly giving permission for others to cave in. Yeah, the people are seeing it.
Months and months, Democrats have been fighting to get the Senate to address the healthcare crisis. This bill does nothing to ensure that that crisis is addressed. I am voting no, and I will keep fighting.
Yeah, that's how the game works in Washington. That's how the game works in Washington. Leaders signal opposition publicly while orchestrating the exact opposite behind the scenes, and it backfired spectacularly. You can't make this stuff up, man.
Break the Republicans, and the Republicans broke him. But he did think that we have good policy, they have bad policy. And there's something, I don't know if it's Trump derangement or are they just crazed. They're like crazed lunatics. But, we have just great policy. We have good people. They have some good people, too. I know a lot of Democrats. They're not all crazy. They're not all. But you have some that are absolutely terrible.
I think the president hit the nail on the head right here. He hit the nail on the head.
We have good policy. They have bad policy. And there's something, I don't know if it's Trump derangement or are they just crazed. They're like crazed lunatics.
It's Trump derangement. Hey, Trump listening to the internet. It's Trump derangement for sure.
But, we have just great policy. We have good people. They have some good people, too. I know a lot of Democrats. They're not all crazy. They're not all. But you have some that are absolutely terrible. I look at this Crockett. This is a very low IQ person. And I look at somebody that comes from Somalia where they don't have anything. They don't have police. They don't have military. They don't have anything. All they have is crime. And she comes in and tells us how to run our country. The Constitution says this, the Constitution. The whole thing is crazy. I feel badly because I've known Chuck Schumer. I knew him when he was a person who loved Israel, and now he's a Palestinian. He's become a Palestinian. And it's amazing. I've never seen a politician change so much. Also, he doesn't have, he was a pretty talented guy. He's lost his talent.
Trump called it out, man. He said, I don't know if it's Trump derangement. Nah, you know what it is. Oh, man. Schumer tried to play hardball. He did. He tried to play hardball, but Trump called his bluff, man. And even Democrats are admitting, they're admitting it. Their own base is turning on them at this point. They're eating their own right now. Social media's full of liberals saying, hey, we're not stupid. We know Schumer gave the green light. We know it. And after 40 days of drama, pain, and missed paychecks, the grand fight, for healthcare ended with nothing. Premiums didn't drop, Republicans didn't flinch, and the shutdown achieved exactly zero. And the timing, it's perfect irony because Democrats win a few state races, they strut around like conquering heroes, and then collapse the moment Trump pushes back. They won politically and then folded legislatively. Why? Why? Because it was never about healthcare. It was never about healthcare. It was about headlines. It was about hashtags and the hype before the next election. So in other words, the resistance resisted reality. We can all see it now. We all see it. I would assume that their base sees it now. A lot of these people, they're so Trump deranged, that they'll ignore it. They'll turn the other way anyway. But let's keep going.
Democrats is they took crime off the front page of every newspaper. That was the story, and they turned it into health care.
Would have started looking for this off-ramp sooner. You said that Republicans were never going to change in their position.
I didn't fully understand how dug in they were, again, because I was so focused on the Virginia elections. I wasn't in this discussion on the healthcare to see how dug in they were. But even as I was not part of these discussions, I was saying to Thune and others on the floor going back, listen, I need, some of you heard me say this in the hall, I need a moratorium on mischief. Others are working on the healthcare thing, I trust them. Others are working on the approach thing, I trust them. I need a moratorium on mischief, because if we vote to open and then the immediate step next week is Donald Trump fires a lot more people, it's going to blow up trust to get the full year deal. And so I've been preaching this moratorium on mischief for a month, but I think partly why did they finally give me the moratorium on mischief on RIFs? They needed my vote, but they also saw the election on Tuesday.
Yeah, so Senator Tim Kaine essentially saying, hey, he can't track two things at the same time. And if that is the case, man, get this dude up out of office. Seriously. Get this dude out of office. He said that he prioritized campaigning over your jobs and your family's ability to eat. That's what he said. That's what he said. And now that the votes are in, the election is over with, the stunt has basically outlived the purpose. The leadership at this point now are saying, you know what, we're going to cut our losses. And they basically, left their supporters feeling betrayed at this point. And remember, Democrats said they wouldn't let the shutdown. They would not end the shutdown unless Republicans agreed to give $1.5 trillion for health care for illegal immigrants and extend the Obamacare subsidies. Republicans said no. Democrats opened the government anyway. And now the same people who screamed about resistance are in full meltdown mode on shows like The View. Check this out. Oh, I gotta pull the screen up. Give me a second.
Even commitment to have a vote. So the bottom line is the Democrats went into this after a blue wave out of the American people saying, we do want the opposition. We the working people want the Democratic Party to fight for them. And now they just caved and surrendered. I think Chuck Schumer, his days are over. If he cannot keep his caucus together, he needs to go. He needs to be replaced.
I completely disagree with you, Sonny, for this reason, what you rattled off. The Republican.
Yeah, they're not happy. They're not happy at all. They want Schumer's head on a platter. Seriously. And not only that, you've got Whoopi Goldberg and company crying on air about how Americans are supposedly entitled to government benefits that other people work hard to fund. Entitled to benefits that the people in this country work hard to fund. You can't make this stuff up, man. Last time I checked, I don't recall Whoopi Goldberg helping any of these people that lost their jobs. Whoopi Goldberg makes about $50,000 a week. Whoopi Goldberg makes the average median wage on a weekly basis. Yeah, but they're out here grandstanding. These people are ridiculous, man. They really are.
So, I mean, you know, a 50-50 chance of negotiating health care subsidies. I just remember all of the people who are coming in and hoping that people would vote them in and say, yes, you can be this person, or you can be a judge, or you can be this. And they all said, no, we're not going to mess with anything. No, we're going to leave everything as it was. I have no faith that they're going to negotiate and come back to the table. And you know, I'm glad that folks, maybe, because again, we have seen, you say this is going to happen and then it doesn't happen.
Right.
So surprise me and show me that this is really, that people are going to get their money, that people are going to get the money that they are entitled to. It's not a gift.
Right.
They're entitled to this money during the when there's a shutdown. You're entitled to that money.
Yeah.
So
entitled. That's a problem right now. There are too many people out there that are entitled, that think they are owed something, even though they haven't actually done anything. That's the problem. Seriously. That right there, what she just said, is one of the biggest problems in our country right now. Family, listen to me. It's entitlement. There are too many people out there that feel like they are owed something just for being alive. The word says the man that doesn't work doesn't deserve to eat. How are you entitled anything? Seriously. That is the biggest problem that we have in our country, man. Seriously. Too many people feel like they are owed something just for being alive. It's a problem, man. Seriously. Too many people think that they are owed someone else's money. Too many people think that they are owed someone else's money. Whoopi Goldberg actually said during the shutdown that people are entitled to this money. It's not a gift, but a right. What? A right? Nobody's entitled to money that they didn't earn. If you work and missed a paycheck, you deserve to be paid. You earned that. But handouts like Obamacare subsidies and endless SNAP extensions, those are not rights. Those aren't rights. Those are political sugar highs the left refuses to let wear off. The culture's just gotten too used to asking, hey, where's the government? That's why it just really bothers me when I hear people say, like, hey, why are you supporting, why are you conservative? Why are you supporting the Republican Party? What are they going to do for you? I'm not looking for them to do anything for me. I'm actually looking for them to get the heck out the way. Seriously, get out of my pockets. I don't know how many of you guys live in liberal-led cities, but I know Deb lives out here where I live at. If you are a working individual out here in Maryland, man, you're being taxed into oblivion. Seriously, I don't want that. So I'm not necessarily looking for somebody to do something for me. It's really about what I'm looking for them to not do, which is, hey, leave me alone. Don't take all my money via taxes and give it to someone else who chose not to do anything. Now, I'm not sitting here saying that, you know, I am against taking care of our elderly. I'm not against taking care of those that are disabled, you know, our disabled veterans, the people that don't really have the ability to take care of themselves. I don't have a problem taking care of those folks. I don't have a problem in making sure that they're good. But we have entirely too many able-bodied people out here in our country that refuse to do anything. And then they look at us and act like we're just supposed to be happy, working our tails off and then paying them all our money. It doesn't make any sense, man. The culture that we live in right now, and especially those who support the Democrat Party, the culture has gotten entirely too comfortable asking, hey, where's the government? What is the government going to do for me? They're too comfortable with that. They're entirely too comfortable with that. People have to understand that, hey, if the government feeds you, clothes you, and house you, that means that they can also starve you, put you homeless, and leave you naked. Why would you want to give these people this kind of control? Seriously, why would you want to give these people this kind of control? And that's why I don't understand why you still have people today saying, hey, what is the government going to do for me? Huh? Nah, no. You should not be looking for the government to do for you. You just shouldn't. The question should be, what are you going to do for yourself? And if you are someone in your family that has made it, that's doing pretty well, what else are you doing for your family? What are you doing for your community? What are you doing for your friends to help pull them up? Why are so many people looking to the government to save them? Seriously. I tell my kids all the time, man, no one's coming to save you. You better put your trust in the Lord. Put your trust in the Lord. That's it. If you putting your trust in man gonna let you down every time. Man gonna let you down every time. And that's why I don't understand why you have all these people, even to this day, still talking about what is the government gonna do? We need the government to get involved. Have you guys not seen the way these people run the government? We're literally operating in a $2 trillion a year deficit. Are these the kind of people that you want running your life? They can't balance the budget. What makes you think they're going to be able to take care of you properly? Seriously. Instead of looking for the government to save you, where's your family at? Seriously, where's your family? Where's the community? Seriously. A single mother out here struggling to feed her kids, she doesn't need more bureaucracy. Nah, she needs family support. All this money that the churches are raking in, nah, she needs support from the church, not federal dependency. But what we do know is that, hey, dependency wins elections. So Democrats, hey, they keep feeding it. And that's why you will have certain groups of people say, hey, why are you supporting over them? What are they offering you? What are they planning to do for you? And I think it messes people's minds up, because when we tell them, hey, we're not actually looking for them to give us anything. We're actually looking for them to get the heck out of our way. Cut these taxes, lower the daggone regulations, and give us the ability to get out here and go get it for ourselves. That's all that we're asking for. I remember when I came up here, when I moved up here, I would talk to folks and they's like, oh man, the military background, you need to go get you a government job. Man, heck no. Heck no. This is some of the worst jobs. And to be honest with you, if you work in these places, you're going to be working around some of the worst people. I'm not saying that all government workers are terrible. I'm not saying that. But Lord knows there is enough of them out there. And what people don't understand is that once you get in there and you're part of that union, the union isn't there to protect the best workers. It's actually there to protect the worst workers and then pad their pockets in the midst of it. I just don't get it, man. Seriously. I just don't get it. But what we understand it, and I get it to an extent. Dependency wins elections. And that's why the Democrats keep offering things. Just like Mondani, offering things that he probably can't even give. But people believed it. And now we're told that ending these subsidies will destroy families. Really? These were pandemic measures. And the pandemic's over. Matter of fact, the pandemic's been over. A lot of you guys may not realize it. The pandemic was 5 years ago. 5 years ago. I know it doesn't feel like it was that long ago. 5 years ago. So many of the people, getting them, they can afford coverage at this point. They just don't want to pay for it. And Democrats crying collapse are just fear-mongering to justify more spending. And here's the irony. The claim that Republicans control everything, yet somehow Democrats folded. Now you got to ask the question, which one is it? You can't rule the world and play victim at the same time. Can I say that again for you guys? You can't rule the world and play victim at the same time. The liberal media, unfortunately, or fortunately, we got to say unfortunately, the liberal media, they don't care about logic. They run on emotion. Blame Trump, promise free stuff, call anyone who disagrees evil, and excuse me, and then they move on. That's their formula. Democrats had multiple chances to reopen the government weeks ago, but refused every clean bill because it didn't include their spending wish list. They let families suffer and then blamed Trump for refusing to surrender. And when it was over, they got nothing. That's the story. That's the story right there, family. Entitlement meets reality. Democrats overplayed their hand, folded under pressure, and now they're mad about it. And the truth is simple. Subsidies were temporary. Spending was unsustainable, and you can't spend your way to prosperity. The Republicans held the line. And if the left wants to find the loser in this story, they don't need to look any further. Just look in a mirror. Hopefully, there are people that are waking up, but I'm for certain there are some people that are so Trump deranged that it doesn't matter what you tell them. You could show them the truth and it doesn't matter because they're that Trump deranged. Got a couple super chats I want to read. Hit the like button for me if you haven't done so already. We're going to keep things going. Let me show some love real fast to my folks that supporting the channel this morning. Shout out to AK Bauer coming through with the $10 super chat. Says thank you for your service in the past and now. Thank you, AK. Appreciate you. Shout out to Gigi coming through with the $10 super sticker. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Shout out to Immortal Agenda. Is that right? Hopefully I pronounced that right. Excuse me. Immortal Agenda coming through with the $10 super chat says, imagine how much more money an individual could save if they kept that 26%. Plus, we're being taxed on top of being taxed for every purchase we make. Yeah. Tax on tax on tax. Absolutely. Shout out to the Energizer Bunny coming through with the 007 with the $5 super chat says, ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. Oh, no. Oh, folks don't want to do that. It's solely about what is the government going to do for me? Folks don't even want to help the people in their own community. There got some people that don't even want to help their own family members. Shout out to Hunter coming through with the $10 super chat says, I spent 2 days on Blue Sky arguing with the guy on this same topic that the government isn't your friend. Rely on community and the church. It was like talking to a brick wall. Yeah. I mean, how many people are brainwashed out there to really believe that the government is their savior? How many people do you guys believe? We got, 340 some odd million people in our country. How many of those people believe that the government is coming to save them, that the government is their savior? How many people do you guys think believe that? Seriously. I want to hear from you guys. If you haven't done so already, hit that like button for me. Appreciate you guys pulling up, man. Happy Veterans Day to all my folks. If you just got here, happy Veterans Day to you guys. Thank you guys very much. And I want to pivot to another headline. Real quick. The White House, we talked about this a little bit yesterday, but the White House is floating a 50-year fixed rate mortgage as a way to ease the housing crunch for younger buyers. All right. We talked about this yesterday a little bit. I want to get into it just a little bit more. You guys got to understand this is that today, the average age of a home buyer in 2025 is 40 years old. It's 40 years old. I want to hear from you guys and what your thoughts are in the chat, on the 50-year mortgage. If somebody could, I don't know if any of you guys have access to a mortgage calculator. I wish I would have did this before, but it just came to mind. But put a mortgage, put a 50-year, if you can go to the mortgage calculator, put a 50-year mortgage in there if that's possible. I don't even know if that's even possible today, right now. And we'll say it's California, we'll say it's the East Coast, we'll say on the lower end, we'll say a $700,000 or $800,000 house. How much are you paying monthly on that house? And when it's all said and done after 50 years, if you live 50 years, how much have you actually paid for that home when it's all said and done? I want to hear those numbers. If somebody could do that for me in the chat, or one of the blues, if y'all could do that for me in the chat. 50 years just seemed like a long time. Seems like a long time. That is, you're right, Candace, that's your entire life. Seriously. But the 50-year fixed mortgage rate, which is, you know, I mean, at least I'm glad to hear it's fixed. But, you know, it's a 50-year fixed mortgage rate, you know, and it's being used as a way to ease the housing crunch for younger buyers. This all coming during a government shutdown, and not to mention after a Democratic sweep in a few key races. Granted, you know, they're all blue states, but also new data just came out showing that baby boomers hold $83.3 trillion in household wealth. Did y'all hear me? The baby boomer population in this country, I'm sure some of you guys, you know, are in that population there, are sitting on $83.3 trillion in household wealth. That's more than half of America's $163.1 trillion total as of 2025. And that's primarily through real estate ownership. There is a projected goodness gracious, I can't talk today. A projected $124 trillion in wealth transfer that is expected to happen by 2048. And, you know, it was expected. Some people are saying that it's in doubt at this point, with only 22% of boomers planning inheritances, despite 38% of Gen Z and 32% of millennials expecting them to. This is a real problem. This is a real problem that we have going on right now, you know, in our country. $83 trillion. Woo. That's a lot of bread.
The White House is floating this idea. Bill Pulte.
Oh, hold up.
Housing costs are still out of reach, and another thing that your administration is trying to tackle. Many Americans, the average age of first-time home buyers are now up to age 40, which is sad. The country you and I grew up in.
I inherited that. Look, you have to understand.
Right, but let me get to the question, though, because your housing director has proposed something that has enraged your MAGA friends, which is this 50-year mortgage idea. So a significant MAGA backlash, calling it a giveaway to the banks and simply prolonging the time it would take for Americans to own a home outright. Is that really a good idea?
It's not even a big deal. I mean, you know, you go from 40 to 50 years, and what it means is you pay something less from 30. That some people had a 40, and then now they have a 50. All it means is you pay less per month. You pay it over a longer period of time. It's not like a big factor. It might help a little bit. But the problem was that Biden did this. He increased the interest rates, and I have a lousy Fed person who's going to be gone in a few months.
Yeah, so I want to put this out there real quick. I am not beating up the boomers. My parents are falling in that category. I was just pointing out the fact that there's $83 trillion, you know, in wealth, you know, tied into that particular population. I wasn't saying that to denigrate, you know, my folks that are in the boomer crowd. So I just want to put that out there real fast. So when you think about this and you think about this 50-year mortgage, I mean, it does sound helpful. It does. It sounds helpful. I mean, we're talking lower monthly payments, you know, which is more affordable. And unfortunately, you have a lot of people that don't necessarily look at the overall cost of things. They typically concern themselves with the monthly payment. They want to know, can I make that payment on a month-to-month basis? That's what most people talk about, even when they go to buy cars. Most people don't care what the entire amount of the car, you know, costs when it's all said and done. They're concerned with, can I make that payment on a month-to-month basis, right? That's what they're concerned with. But So again, that 50-year mortgage is meant to lower those monthly payments and make it a little more affordable. But if you zoom out, a 50-year loan doesn't create inventory, it doesn't lower building costs, and it doesn't make banks more willing to lend when rates are high. It actually stretches the debt so that you can pay far more total interest for a small monthly discount. And ladies and gentlemen, in my opinion, that's not what you would call treating the symptom, or that's what you would call treating the symptom, not the disease. The real problems, that we have are tight supply, sticky input costs, zoning bottlenecks, and financing standards that whipsaw with rate cycles. So you have surveys out there that show that the American dream has been delayed, essentially. First time home buyers, the average right now is about 40 years. And a lot of people say that they're postponing marriage or kids until they can buy a home. So, is this really a good idea? Now, I don't understand the people that are postponing marriage and they're postponing kids until they can buy a home. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I wasn't a homeowner when I had my children. When my children were born, I wasn't a homeowner. Slowly but surely, we worked there. My parents were not homeowners when we were around. We got a chance to, see them build. So the whole thought process of, hey, I'm gonna wait until, I get married, before I decide to, or wait till I buy a home, that just doesn't sound smart, in my opinion. But I understand the sentiment to an extent. Hey, I want to buy a home, but that's in my opinion, I don't think that's realistic. I don't think it's realistic. But the 50-year mortgage, what it does mean is basically a lifetime of debt while banks get richer and you never get free. That's pretty much what it means. I want to read this super chat real fast. Thank you, Deb, for coming through. Thank you for the $10 super chat as well. It says, if you bought $1 million home with a 50-year fixed mortgage at 6.5% interest rate, that's 600 months. Good Lord. 600 months. Your monthly payment would be $5,650. So you were paying 3.4 times the home's original price. Sheesh. What's the actual interest rate on that? How much interest would an individual pay on that? So what is that? $2.4 million in interest, something along those lines? Goodness gracious. Wow. So 50-year mortgage on a 20-year house. And you're going to pay, when it's all said and done, you're going to pay 3.4 times. Woo-wee. Sheesh. That sounds real expensive. Goodness gracious.
The White House is floating this idea. Bill Pulte is saying, thanks to President Trump, we can indeed work on the 50-year mortgage, a complete game changer. How does that work in dollars? Here you go. 30-year fixed mortgage right now. You're paying $2,038 a month, principal and interest on a $400,000 home. At the bottom, under 50 years, you'd save a couple $100 a month at $1,822 principal and interest. That is proposed. Do you like this idea?
I do not like this idea. And again, it depends on how much the house costs and what. But if you just took a 4% interest rate, for a 30-year, it would be $2,300. For a 50-year, it would be $1,900. So you're saving almost $500 a month in terms of affordability. But by the time you finish paying this bad boy off, the 30-year, you pay $359,000 versus a 50-year, almost $700,000, right?
Oh.
So it's just a gargantuan difference just to make people feel better, and that's not the way to do this, right? There's so many other ways. I feel so strongly about the momentum that we'll have going into next year. The one big beautiful bill kicks in. We'll have a more accommodative Federal Reserve. I think economic activity is going to build. Companies will be encouraged to build here because they'll be able to write a lot of that off. I think we're in the precipice of an economic boom, and with lower mortgage rates, that will help the housing market a lot. So I would rather see President Trump do some other things with that tariff money.
Right.
Yeah, I'm with the brother Charles, man. I don't like the 50-year mortgage. I'm just not a fan of it. It's not something that I would sign up for. And that honestly, it's not something that I would advise my kids to sign up for. But family, let's get real. Let's get real, man. Nobody pays off a 50-year mortgage. Nobody pays off a 50-year mortgage. The average 30-year loan, it may last about 12 years before it's either refinanced or sold. So what does a 50-year mortgage do? A 50-year mortgage, it basically traps homeowners into lifetime debt while pretending to make housing affordable. It's interest-only servitude dressed up as opportunity. Charles Payne's math, hey, dead on. Stretching mortgages to half a century doesn't build wealth. It actually doubles the payout and kills equity. The smarter play is what Trump's been preaching. Build more homes, cut the red tape, unleash real growth. Not gimmicks, not government fantasy finance. But because the root problem isn't the length of your loan, it's inflation. We flooded the economy with free money. What was the number? Like $15 trillion printed up. And guess what? Prices popped and never came back down. Both parties played that game. Both sides played that game. Washington always picks short-term relief over long-term discipline. I've been saying it on this channel. We are so short-sighted in our nation. It's always 2 to 4 year stints. We can't look out further than that. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that our system is built the way it's built. And I'm not saying that it's terrible, but I'm just saying it makes it very difficult to tackle things the right way. It really does. Everybody's looking for the get rich quick scheme. Everybody's looking for the fast fix. The fast fix never works. And now you have people out here pretending that a 50-year loan will fix what bad policy broke. And if you want to survive this madness, control what you can control. Learn money, budget, pay off high interest debt, stack cash. And if the only way that you can afford a house is with a 50-year loan, that means that you can't afford it. Seriously. No different than if the only way that you can purchase a car is with a 96-month loan, that means you can't afford that car. You can't. Hey, rent smart, save hard, and wait for the math to make sense. And to be honest with you, I think people realistically need to be thinking about, hey, I might have to move. I might have to move to states that are more favorable, that make more sense for my family. I've done it a couple of times. I've moved cross country twice, maybe 3 times, in search for an opportunity that made sense for me and my family. If you're living in some of these places that are extremely expensive, I would say some people say I can't afford to move. I say you can't not afford to move. Seriously. You may need to look at some places in our country that make more sense. And let's be honest, man. For banks, if you're a banker, hey, if you're a mortgage broker, if you are, someone who, sells these types of loans, hey, this is a dream. 50-year mortgage? What? More interest, more control, less risk. And for politicians, it's a headline. But for the buyer, it's a trap that assumes your income and health stay perfect for 50 years. That's not a plan. That's what I would call delusion, ladies and gentlemen. And if Washington really wanted to help, they'd legalize more housing, speed up permits, and get the heck out of the way. Because the goal isn't to own a payment. It's to actually own your life. Last time I checked, hit the like button for me. Couple super chats. Oh, here we go. Thank you, Dave, coming through with the $10 super chat. Says, I think Trump to lower our interest rates to 2.5% because that same house payment would only cost you $1.9 million instead of $3.4. That's $2 million saved in interest for a 2.5% interest rate. Oh, pretty cool. Okay. Shout out to the Energizer Bunny coming through with the $2 super chat. Says, buy a house in Boston for $1,000. Huh, interesting. Well, I know here in Baltimore City, if you are willing to live in Baltimore City, just saying, at your own peril. But you can buy a home right now in Baltimore City for, if you actually live in the state, you can buy one for $1, but you have to fix it up and you have to promise that you'll live in a home for, I think, 5 years. But if you're from outside the state, you can actually buy a property in Baltimore City anywhere from $1,000 to, I think, $3,000, depending on, some things. Shout out to the Immortal Agenda coming through with the $5 super chat. Says the housing crisis can also be attributed to your local city council. Yeah. Doc Holiday coming through with the $5 super chat. Says I left my beautiful home state of California after over 50 years in December 2015. I absolutely love living in Mississippi. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I really think that people need to start thinking about moving to cities and states that make more sense financially. Look at that. Improved Mystery School says no on Baltimore, no on Philadelphia. No. I understand. That's why I say, hey, at your own peril. You can buy a house right now. You can buy one completely refurbished, ready to go. Nice. It's going to have all the bells and whistles. It's going to have all the nice things that you want inside of your home in Baltimore City right now for under $150K. It's going to be a row home, but you might not be able to step outside after 6 o'clock in the evening. Just saying, but you can get you one. And if you have children, you got to send your kids to school. Baltimore City schools are some of the worst schools in the country. Yeah. Oh, hit that like button for me if you haven't done so already. Thank you guys for the super chats and super stickers thus far. Appreciate you guys. Thank you guys very much. And, if the housing mess and debt traps like the 50-year mortgage, are a reminder that Washington's quick fixes often leaves folks deeper in the hole than where they already started from, then let's flip the script to a story that's all about real boots on the ground revival. The kind that starts with locals rolling up their sleeves instead of waiting for a DC bailout. Over in Venice, Illinois, a town that got gutted when the steel mill shut down and jobs vanished, things are turning around, not because some bloated federal program, but thanks to a retired basketball ref who's putting his own skin in the game to bring back basics like a grocery store and a school. It's the kind of community-led comeback that proves when people invest in their own backyard with a little smart state partnering, not dictating, you get bedrock results, not handouts. I want you guys to check this out right here. Give me 1 second.
In Eye in America, we search the country for stories that are not only interesting, but at times inspiring. We found tonight's story in Venice, Illinois, just across the Mississippi River from St. Louis. The small town fell on hard times. Residents and businesses left. But now, James Brown reports Venice is having a renaissance.
That is this area right here. It may be hard to see what Ed Hightower sees in this empty lot in Venice, Illinois. This will be the front parking lot right here. Progress. Who would have dreamt that 4 years ago we would be where we are today? Take this new school. It's exactly what the retired school superintendent envisioned for this small town 20 miles from where he was born. I don't care what color you are, what belief you have. You want to reside in a safe area where you can go to school, You go get your groceries.
When the steel and manufacturing jobs dried up over the last several decades, Venice lost 2/3 of its population, then its only grocery store, and finally its only school. But this former college basketball referee knew the rules of the game. In this case, how to get state money flowing Venice's way.
All right, see that? Venice lost 2/3 of its people. Its only grocery store and the school. I mean, this is classic Rust Belt fade out when manufacturing dries up and folks scatter for opportunity. But here's Ed Hightower, this legend who ref Final Fours and World Championships, not sitting on his pension watching Netflix. No, he's eyeing that empty lot like it's prime real estate for hope, trying to pull in, state funds the right way as a bridge, not a crutch. No handouts here, because success starts at the root with people who actually want to change their spot. Now let's dig into how it's unfolding, because this isn't pie in the sky talk. It's not. Construction's breaking ground soon, if it hasn't already, and it's pulling in clinics, housing, the works. You name it, it's happening.
There are no handouts here. That's not happening. This starts at the root of people who want to change their community. When you have that level of investment that we see here in Venice, that's the bedrock for success.
Deputy Governor Andy Manar sees Venice as a tryout for other small towns.
I'm waiting on that grocery store.
Oh, you're waiting on that grocery store?
There's no political label you put on a community that has lost a grocery store.
That grocery store is set to begin construction next month, along with a medical clinic and affordable housing.
I will have skin in the game to make sure that it's successful.
And it's not just state money funding the store. Hightower is personally investing, and he'll manage it while leasing the building from the town.
Growing up in Venice, it was very family-oriented. Everybody knows everybody here.
After a lifetime of watching things close, Venice native Alexis Williams saw hope when she dropped her 5-year-old daughter, Navy, off at that new school.
She was excited, and I was excited to see that we have a new building in our city is great.
What are you hoping for Navy?
I'm hoping that Venice grows and that she doesn't ever have to feel like she has to move away from home to have a better opportunity in life.
So what motivates you now?
Giving something back. This country kid who never thought, first of all, I'd get an education, to go as high as a doctorate in education. But my mom always taught us, you don't get there by yourself.
Ed Hightower's golden rule: life is a team sport. For Eye on America, I'm James Brown in Venice, Illinois.
There it is, family. Hightower's putting $3.5 million of his own money on the line to reopen a grocery store in Venice. No grants, no handouts, just real investment. He's managing it himself. The state's going to lease the building. And that's the model right there. Private risk, public support, local control. No left, no right. Just a town tired of being a food desert. Fresh produce, jobs, and pride all coming back because one man put skin in the game instead of waiting for Washington. And Alderman Eccles nailed it. This isn't just grocery stores. It's families breathing easier. Kids with a future in their own hometown. And you pair that with with the store, you pair the store with a new school, a clinic, affordable housing, and you've got a blueprint for rebirth. Community hustle over government rescue. And this is what happens when Americans say, hey, we're done shrinking. We're building again. Real change doesn't trickle down from DC. Family, y'all got to hear this, man. It grows from the ground up. Always has, always will. Again, I gotta say this, man. We gotta stop looking to these politicians to come save us. You gotta take advantage of the opportunities that are out there. Put your faith in the Lord and then go put the work in. Faith without works is dead. You gotta go put your trust in the Lord and then go put the work in. It will work itself out, man. We've gotten away from doing what we can do. We've gotten away from controlling what we can control, and too many of us are pointing the finger, looking for somebody to do what we should be doing ourselves. I'm so tired of people saying, hey, somebody's got to do something. No, you be the somebody. I'm tired of hearing people say the government's got to do something. No, you do it. You put it together. You make it happen. Seriously. There's entirely too many people sitting on their hands waiting on somebody to do what they should be doing for themselves. So I appreciate, the brother doing what he's doing out there in Venice. Seriously. I appreciate it. Hope you guys enjoyed the show today. Let me see what's going on in the chat, and then we're going to get ready to get up out of here. But I appreciate you guys pulling up today, man. Hold up. Quick super chat here from the Energizer Bunny coming through. It says Baltimore, my fault. Uh-oh. Did I miss something? Oh, buy a home in, instead of Boston, it was Baltimore. Yeah, you can buy a house you can buy one in Baltimore, $1,000. Yeah. Shout out to Improve Mystery School, or Improv Mystery School. Hopefully that's right. With the $5 super chat, says the corruption between government, city hall, and private property is the biggest kind and a crime. Only the people can fight and change this. Yeah. Shout out to my brother Malachi coming through with the $2 super chat. Says, shout out to my state, Illinois. Yeah. Shout out to Illinois. All righty, man. We're going to get ready to get up out of here, man. But I do appreciate you guys pulling up this morning. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Hope you guys appreciated the show today. I do thank you guys, man. If you hadn't hit that like button on the way out the building. Shout out to you guys, man. Shout out to the Blues. Appreciate you all keeping things peaceful in the chat. Shout out to all my folks. All my ARP family members. Thank you guys very much. Everybody that supported the channel financially this morning. Thank you guys as well. I appreciate you guys again. Happy Veterans Day. As Crystal would say, get out there, touch a little grass, get off the screen for a little bit, go touch some grass, get some fresh air. If you have the ability to do so. I know, that lake effect snow has hit a lot of folks. Fortunately, we didn't get the snow, but man, it is chilly outside and the wind gusts are serious. Woo! Goodness gracious. But I do appreciate you guys, man. Thank you guys so much, for supporting what we're doing over here at ARP. I do thank you guys a lot. Again, happy Veterans Day to all my veterans, and thank you for your service. Thank you for your sacrifice, and I really appreciate you guys, man. Thank you guys very much. We're gonna get up out of here. Hit the like button on the way out the building. We're gonna hit the like button on the way out the building. Lord willing, we will be back at this thing tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for ARP in the morning. And as always, keep God first. Stay prayed up. We'll catch up with you all next time. Peace.
We won't stop. I won't quit. Stand for the truth. No counterfeit. Real ones rise. Let the fake ones split. Repent for the lies. Let the dark